What's going on, kids? How you doing? DB here. I'm back. I wasn't here last week. Now I'm back. I was doing a real controversial thing. I was, a media member behind the scenes at a live golf event because I was curious and because I was already in the area and because I wanted to see how the sauce was made and because I wanted to see a couple of my good friends, Harold Varner III, Charles Howell III, and that's very controversial. Okay, more on that later this week. But this is the first look, first impressions betting show. And actually, update, it's going to be the betting show for the week because Pat is out this week. I don't know if you guys know this, but Halloween is a big deal in Pat's geriatric neighborhood. Apparently, all them old people really like to get scared up. They like to get scared out. And hopefully they're all wearing their diapers and they're all good to go. So he's out this week. This is the betting show. There will be a DFS show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Myself and my buddy Jeff Feinberg will be joining me to break down the DraftKings DFS slate for the Mayakoba Worldwide Technology something or another. And that will be a good time. But this will serve as the podcast for the betting show this week. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be here. The field is pretty good. It's pretty solid. I got to be honest. I'm not feeling great. I'm a little under the weather. Maybe it's karma for going to a live event. I don't know, but I am a little bit under the weather. So I'm going to power through. I do have a big old water jug. I might have to swig up. So, I don't need anybody in the comments being like, "How unprofessional. I got to listen to you swallow water and mess with your water jug." Don't do that. Okay. I'm not in the mood today. I'm not in the mood. For Halloween, I'm going to go as a teenager because I have a fat ass pimple / blister on the corner of my mouth. I don't know what's going on there. Or I don't know. Let's talk about Halloween. I don't really get into Halloween all that much. Every year at this time, I always go, man, I wish I would have thought of a really clever golf costume for Halloween this year. And I never think of it until like the day of. I'm like, you know what? I never thought of it, but it's happened every year for like 5 years in a row. So maybe drop in the comments. What are you going to be for Halloween? Who should I have been for Halloween? What do you think? Give me that. Also, so I'm going to talk a little bit about this golf course, Mayakoba, and then I'm going to open up the betting odds. The last 2 times I've done this here show on Monday morning, which is a regular occurrence, except for last week I was playing in a charity golf event that I've also caught heat for because my friend Travis Miller, PJ Memes, threw a charity golf event. We raised a bunch of money for Children's Hospital. Caught heat for that. Anyway, so I wasn't here but the last 2 times I've done this show, we've had the winner. I've locked in the winner. So I'm going to scroll through the betting odds. I'm going to give you my first thoughts, first impressions, talk about some names I think we should click right now. And then at the end, I'm going to summarize, okay, of all the names that I kind of stopped on, here are the names I think we pound right now. Monday morning is one of the best times to hit the outright market. The numbers are longer. If they shorten throughout the week, good for you. You got them at a good number. If they lengthen, you can add to your position. Also good for you. So before we get into that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the golf course. So let's see what we got. El Camaleon Golf Club in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. It's a Greg Norman design. So I was at the live event, and I have on good authority, very reliable source, that this will be the last year the PGA Tour will be playing at El Camaleon Golf Club because Live Golf has signed a deal with Mayakoba, and Live Golf will be playing a live event in Mexico at this very course next year, probably in August. So be on the lookout for that. That has not been announced, but this will be the last time we see this course on the PGA rotation. I would assume forever because even if it was like a 5-year deal with Live, I can't imagine the PGA Tour just being like, "Oh yeah, cool, we'll have you back." It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So this will be it. So Victor Hovland better get it done while he can. Okay, he better get it done while he can. Let's take a look at the scorecard. It's a par 71, a little over 7,000 yards if they tip it out. This is one of the easier courses on the PGA Tour pretty much every year unless there's weather. I count about 6 par 4s where basically most of the field is going to have a pitching wedge in, maybe a 9-iron in, unless we have super windy conditions, which I need to look at here today. You've got 3 par 5s, a couple of them very gettable. One of them probably also pretty gettable by most of the field. And these par 3s are some of the easier par 3s on the PGA Tour rotation as well. So you got the scorecard there. Looking at it on the screen, par 71, like I said. This is one of those courses that I think does qualify, and we talk about this from time to time. A lot of players that we've interviewed from time to time say, they talk about courses where it feels like everybody kind of hits it in the same spot, right? We've heard that before. This feels like one of those courses. You got to keep it in the fairway here. All right, I'm looking at weather, so I'm kind of stalling here. So weather Thursday, I mean, a little blustery conditions. Thursday a little more windy but Friday also some wind. So it seems like we're gonna have some wind. I mean, typical, you know, oceanside breezes and windy. I mean, it very rarely isn't blowing. But Saturday and Sunday, a lot more mild. If you can make the weekend, it looks like it will be much easier to score. Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday, some possible showers, but it doesn't look too bad. I think it's going to play about like we normally see it play. So we've seen Victor Hovland win here the last 2 years, winning scores in the 20 unders range, I believe, is what's happened. Brendan Todd won here the year I had Harry Higgs at 150 to 1, and Brendan Todd shot like 7 under on round 4. I freaking hate that. That really killed my Harry Higgs ticket. Matt Kuchar's one here. Patton Kizzires one here. Pat Perez is one here. Graham McDowell's one here. Charlie Hoffman, John Hub, Brian Gay. Like, listen to those names, right? This is not a place where length is a huge advantage. We see a couple of these courses throughout the fall swing. This is not a place where length is an advantage. This is definitely like I said, hit it to the same spot. You're going to get greens and regulation numbers about tour average, maybe even a little better than tour average, again, depending on wind. And then it's putting on past Palom, getting it done, right? So there's the list of winners. The past Palom green or the past Palom grass is pretty much everywhere. So, having some familiarity with past Palom, it's kind of a grainy, wide blade grass. So guys who have played well in coastal spots, but I don't really know that in terms of like a model, I'm probably not going to do past Palom grass. I'm probably just going to do strokes gained putting in general. I don't care what the surface is. Just strokes gained putting long term as well. I think bad putters obviously can play well here. I think good putters can play well here. It's more about the iron play and keeping it in the fairway. If you ask me, you've got to keep it in the fairway. There's a lot of trouble when you miss here. There's not any really rough. It's just jungle and garbage. It's native area. Okay, we don't know what we're gonna get. So it's definitely going to be all about positioning yourself off the tee first and foremost, and then going from there. By the way, I do have to say this before we get started. We are presented to you by our friends at Smart Scalpers. How would you like a side hustle that many have turned into something, bringing in more income than their regular full-time job? And you can do it all from home whenever you want. One of my longtime friends in Augusta, Georgia, started Smart Scalpers and Elite Events nearly 20 years ago. And he's now begun training and franchising individuals all over the country to buy and sell tickets with sophistication and intelligent software. And it's all driven over the internet, no face-to-face sales. You don't have to be some sleazy dude in an alley, dishing out a Bulls ticket or something. Concerts, sporting events, festivals, more. And you can do this all from your home. Smart Scalpers will onboard you. They'll train you weekly and give you full-time access to their support staff anytime you need it. So you don't have to hire your own, helper person. There are no strings attached, and you can sell as little or as much as you want. There's no minimum here. You don't have to commit to selling all these tickets. You can quit at any time too. If you're interested, all you got to do is text the number 706-755-5974 and tell them the Tour Junkies sent you. Just text 706-755-5974. Tell them you want to learn more about Smart Scalpers and the Tour Junkies sent you. There's no pressure. There's nothing wrong with learning a little bit more. And you can give it a shot and text 706-755-5974. All right. How my people in the chat looking? How we doing? Oh, I see producer Sam's in here. Thank you, sir. Brent's in here. Spazbite, Chris, Marcus, what up? Oh, God dang. Oh. Don't make fun of my water jug. It's the only way I can make myself drink a lot of water. My boy Ben Griffin. Dang it, Ben. Oh, Ben just dutied all down his leg yesterday in Bermuda. Just dutied all down it. Interviewed Ben. It's posted on YouTube. It's in the podcast feed. If you've not listened to that because you're like, I don't care who Ben Griffin is, you need to listen to it. He is a very good kid, talented player, very funny. He told some great stories. Talked about, he told a story about him and his caddy during a tournament round falling in the pond, both of them, like completely falling in the pond. It's hilarious. Great kid. I'm very, very bullish on Ben Griffin. And if you've been paying attention to some of these Corn Ferry Tour interviews, we're talking to these guys about courses where they think where they think they can do well, kind of their skill set, their skill set as golfers, what they're good at, what they're not good at. They're important to listen to in these early fall season events. We had my boy, I think his name's Keith, Snow Reaper in the Nut Hut, won 25 grand on DraftKings, took down the $5 pitch and putt on DraftKings this weekend. Ben Griffin, other Corn Ferry Tour players that we brought to light early in the season were in his lineup. By the way, the Nut Hut killed it last week again. I know we had a ton of showdown victory as well. Shout out Adam with all the showdown victory and insight. Just printing money in the Nut Hut. I don't know what you people are doing. It's $10 a month. I know it's the fall, but god dang, I promise you will win all your money. You'll win $120 at some point in the year, and then everything's free and gravy from there. And now you're making a lot of friends. So anyway, great to see Ben Griffin do his thing. Wish he could have closed it out. I definitely wouldn't have been betting Seamus Power, but I would have been betting Ben Griffin at 130 to 1 had I had a card last week, but I didn't because I was busy. But keep an eye out for Ben Griffin, especially at the RSM in a couple weeks. He's the course record holder there. Shot a 59 at the Seaside course, I think, over the summer. 59, yeah, pretty good. He's just a really good player. So hopefully you learned a lot yesterday. Great to see him do his thing, and go listen to the podcast or watch it on YouTube if you've not already. All right, let's get into the top of the betting board. If you don't know how this works, I'm going to look through DraftKings, FanDuel, and probably BetMGM and talk through some names that are piquing my interest. And we're going to come back at the end, summarize the ones I think we should really place bets on right now, get the value, lock it in, and then we'll go from there. I might need some help from some of you in the chat shopping some lines. Maybe if you guys could have BetMGM or PointsBet or something, or another book, legal sports book in the U.S. Open, help me out. Let's all work together, find some good numbers as a community. All right, let's do it. Top of the betting board. God dang it. DraftKings Sportsbook can be annoying sometimes. Why do they just move me to a different page? I didn't ask to go to another page. I just didn't. Okay. Scotty Scheffler at the top of the board on DraftKings, as well as FanDuel, as well as PointsBet, as well as MGM, tied with Victor Hovland there. I mean, personally, I would make Victor Hovland. If I were setting the lines, it's Victor Hovland. Like, I'm putting Victor Hovland at the top. He's won here twice. We've seen him more in the fall. He's played well in the fall. Why would he not be the top? I guess just because Scotty's world number 2 now. But I would put Victor Hovland at the top of the board here. If I were a simp, a betting simp, a bimp. If I was a bimp, and I had to bet a short guy, if I was a what would I be? If I was dang dude, my brain. If I was man, I'm I don't know. I need to start over. I need a reboot. Anyway, if I was just a bish, and I had to bet somebody at the top, it'd be Victor Hovland. If I was that guy that called into the show a couple weeks ago, if you were watching on the podcast, if I was that guy who hit Rory when he won at the CJ Cup, I would do that. I would do that. Ryan asked a good question. Ryan, why don't I do that? Why not just use odds checker instead of looking at each side? You know why, Ryan? Because, okay, this is just me. Confession time. Because Data Golf has something similar, right? Confession time. I don't trust. I have trust issues. I don't trust that the number is up to date. So even if I go and find it, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up every single one of them damn tabs and look at every single one of them damn books and make sure that the number is there. That's just me. I have trust issues. I don't believe that the odds checker little Keebler elves in there are getting it as soon as the line is updated on DK or FanDuel or BetMGM, and then they're putting it in there quickly. I just don't trust it. So I bounce around like an idiot, but I probably should at some point. Okay. Anyway, I'm not a betting bish, so I'm not going to bet either one of those guys. But if you want to, I would bet Hovland. Tony Finau is enticing. We know what he did at Puerto Rico, similar course, but he hasn't played. He's played in the President's Cup, right? That's all he's done. We haven't seen him this fall. I think I'll probably bounce on Finau, although probably a good fit for here. At the top of the board, just in the initial look, this is weird. So we're already getting weird. maybe it's the congestion get to my brain. At the top of the board, the most interesting names to me are Billy Ho and Aaron Wise. Call me crazy. David, why would you bet those guys when you could bet Colin Morikawa at 20-1? Well, because Colin Morikawa doesn't look like Colin Morikawa lately. Golfers go there's cycles, right, to these guys' games, man. And I think Colin Morikawa is for sure a world-class player. But he doesn't feel like a world-class player right now. He doesn't feel like that. What's the thing right now is everything's about him. Like, oh, he's him. That's what the young people say now. That's what my middle schoolers said. Oh, dad, he's him. That means like he's the man. He's that, right? Well, Colin Morikawa, not him right now. I don't think he is. Or what's the other one going around? He got a dog in him. He's got the dog in him. He may have a dog in him, but it's one of these real bougie designer dogs that people make in labs, like a cockadoodle poo or something. One of those dogs. I think that's what he's got in him right now. I think he's had something in there that was a little better, a little more ferocious, but right now it's a cockadoodle poo. And you can use that. But Billy Ho and Aaron Wise, so they're both 16-1 on DraftKings. Am I losing people by doing this? Because I'm sure you guys are like, this guy's an idiot. But I've hit the last two winners on the show, so shut your mouth. Billy Ho and Aaron Wise 20-1 on FanDuel. Okay, getting better. Both 18-1 on PointsBet, and Wise is 20-1 on MGM, and Billy Ho's 18-1 on MGM. So FanDuel's are better bets here. Wise and Billy Ho. So Wise had a good record here, right? Yeah. 15th, runner up, 10th in his last in the 3 out of the last 4 starts. He either misses a cut or he freaking kills it. I love it. Billy Ho has a top 5 and a top 8 T8 in the last 3 years. Never hadn't missed a cut here in the last 4 attempts. Why did I do that? Hold on. Aaron Wise 6th at the CJ Cup. Dude's had a good year. Really good year, playing good golf. 13th or 15th at the BMW, 13th at the Wyndham. The Wyndham. Like, I look at the Wyndham and go, that's not a course I love Aaron Wise on because it also negates distance. But I mean, he still gained 5.6 strokes off the tee at the Wyndham, probably because he can flush a 3-wood or a driving iron as far as Tom Kim's hitting his driver. And now Tom Kim won, but still, I like Aaron Wise and Billy Ho. I like the value on those numbers. What do you guys think? You guys think that's crazy? It feels weird when you have the other names up top. But I already told you, if you want to be a bish, Victor Hovland at 10-1. Just do that and just do that. The three-time win. I'm not going to sit here and say there's no way he wins it 3 times. That is not what I'm going to say because I think he could. But if I'm going to avoid the top of the very tip top of the board, I am going Aaron Wise and Billy Ho. I think I like them both. Now we'll see if I truly. I'm probably only going to bet one, honestly. Maverick McNeely at 18-1 on DraftKings, 26-1 on FanDuel. We're getting better. 25-1 on PointsBet, 28-1 on MGM if you like math. Y'all remember? Y'all remember when I loved Maverick McNeely? I could not get off Maverick McNeely's jock. I couldn't. I mean, I was like just constantly there. In the last 3 years here, 11th, 12th, 26th. Recent form's been good too. 18th at CJ Cup, 12th at Zozo, 10th at Shriners. Like, he seemingly is back. I kind of jumped off the Maverick McNeely boat there for a little while, but I still don't like that he's doing it all with the putter. Y'all, his irons suck. When we were riding Maverick McNeely hard, yeah, his irons were good. He was gaining strokes off the tee. He's still not doing that. I'm not going to bet an outright on a guy who has only gained strokes with his irons once since July. No way. And if I were going to do that, I damn sure wouldn't be doing it at shorter than 30-1. So we're not doing that. That's dumb. Like, don't get sucked into that. Don't. I'm telling you, don't. If he wins, y'all can clip this. Y'all can clip it if he wins. Okay. Now we get into like, okay, now we're dropping off here. We're dropping off. But the field has like a solid depth to it. I'm excited about the field in general. So it's got some depth. Taylor Montgomery, Emiliano Grillo, Tom Hoagie, Brian Harmon, Putnam. I mean, these guys, Detry's playing good. Again, I say this a lot with courses where distance is mitigated. you have to take that into account when you see some of these sexy names you like Taylor Montgomery. Oh, there's Kyle. Look at Kyle. Griffin won me 25K. There he is. Kyle, I'm sorry. I called you Keith earlier. I started with a K, though. I had the K, though. Samsonite. What was I talking about? By the way, this show is going to be a little longer than the normal 30-minute first look show because it's the whole. We're doing the whole betting podcast. This show. That's if I don't die. Okay. Taylor Montgomery, like I'm not interested in Taylor Montgomery. He's gaining a lot of strokes, doing good stuff. He's a good player, but he's going to be mitigated a little bit here. Now Grillo is interesting. What's Grillo done? Here? Oh yeah. Grillo is probably a click. Loves him some past Palom. 4th at the Zozo, 5th at the Sanderson to start his year. A couple runner-ups late in July or, late last season. I like that. Let's take a look at, what is this? Mayakoba. What? Why is it? Wait a minute. What? Why is Fantasy National? Why can't I find the right? Okay, this is weird. This is strange. All right. Well, I won't do that. Sorry, guys. This is great content here. Great content. Anyway, Grillo. I like Grillo. Let's shop a number on Grillo. Grillo is 28 to 1 on DraftKings. I hope I can get longer than that. I don't. 34 to 1 on FanDuel. Thank you. Where are we? 34. 33 to 1 on PointsBet. 40 to 1 on MGM. Thank you. Yeah. Yep. 40 to 1 Grillo. I'm going to take that. What's he doing off the tee in terms of cuz I think he's gained a little distance. But he's still gaining fairways, y'all, and that's really deadly. If he can get the total driving distance fairway stuff clicking here, I like that a lot for him. So I'm definitely feeling Grillo. That's probably a for sure click. I can tell you that at the end of this here show, this here episode, this here YouTube video. Okay, Hoagie. This is now we get to a course where Hoagie's down. If you listen to the podcast with Tom Hoagie, I asked him what kind of courses we like. You know what he says? I like courses where we all kind of play to the same spots. This is what we got. He says, then because I know I'm good with my irons. I'm deadly with my irons. I'm deadly with, with the whole iron play. So here, let's see, he's got a third place finish in 20. Overall not great, but a third place finish in 2021 or 2 years ago. What is Fantasy National jacking up the? I don't understand the course history stuff here on fan. Anyway, I think he's got a third place finish here. This is high level expertise or breakdown. All right, let's shop Hoagie. What do we got? 22 to 1 on FanDuel. We don't want that. 22 to 1 on PointsBet. We don't want that. 28 to 1 on MGM. So 30 to 1 on DraftKings is our Hoagie number. It's okay. I mean, obviously the guy won on a course similar where, coastal, hit it to the same spots, that kind of stuff. But I don't know if I love it. Yeah, see, Spazbite saying the same thing in the chat. See, that's a short number for Hoagie. It is. It doesn't feel like a tremendous value. Doesn't feel like a tremendous value. Okay, let's keep going. But it's a name that I like. Guys, listen, if producer Sam is still in the chat, he's going to make fun of me for this, but I don't care. I don't care. I have I talked about this earlier in the fall with Andrew Putnam, and it looks like we're getting to him here soon. I also have a problem with Brian Harman. I can't stop betting Brian Harman, especially on courses like this. I just see his little name and his little man. He's just a little guy, and I just see him. I see a little guy doing big things. Little guy, big world. Little people, big world. Whatever that show was, I see him there, and I see him hoisting trophies all the time, and I can't get it out of my head. I'm stuck. His best number is 50 to 1 on MGM. I just want to say, that I'm not committing to that. I'm not saying that's a brilliant move, but I just want to say it. I just want to throw it out there. See, producer Sam's telling me to stop. I know. I got it. Okay, Andrew Putnam. Do we like Andrew Putnam at 40 to 1? I don't know. Let me just slow down on some of these guys. Detry's playing really well right now. I do have some interest in Detry. Like to me, the Detry number feels like kind of a value based on how he's been playing. Um, Runner up at Butterfield, ninth at the Sanderson, 12th at the Fortinet, really getting his year off to a hot start. Like no matter what you think about his fit here, it is going to mitigate his distance some, but to be in that good a form and to be at that long of a number, especially relative to some of the other names I just mentioned, that is enticing. Where is he on points bet? Why is he so long? Why is his number that long? Like doesn't that seem like a misprice to you guys? Is he in the field? Like what? Where is he on points bet? Where's my odds checker guy? Where's odds checker guy in the chat? Tell me where Detry is. Holy crap! I think points bet doesn't have him. He's 40 to 1 on MGM, and he's what did I say? What am I doing? 45 on DraftKings and FanDuel. So dang, dude, like I think that's a good value. Just as good as that dude's hitting it. That's a good value. That's probably a bet. 45 to 1 on Detry's probably a bet. It's just he's playing too good. You can't deny it right now. All right, let's keep going. I mean, Sheamus at 50 to 1? What are we doing? Huh? Am I seeing this right? 30. Okay, he's 37 to 1 on FanDuel. Where is he on PointsBet? He's 40 to 1 on PointsBet. Why would Sheamus and he's 50 to 1 and he's 50 to 1 on MGM? Guys, am I missing something? Like why would you put Sheamus Power longer than Brian Harmon, Andrew Putnam, Brendan Todd? I mean, I guess Brendan Todd won here. But like what why? Doesn't that seem like mispricing there? Do you guys agree? It really feels like that's a big unless I'm just missing some incredible course history. Let's take a look. Detry's only played here once, but had a good finish. Sheamus has played here 11th last year. Solid. Andrew Putnam's course history here sucks. Brian Harmon's history here sucks. Those are terrible numbers. I think those guys are clicks. They're just playing too good. All right, we're clicking. Matt Kuchar. I think Matt Kuchar's playing well. I think obviously he's a winner here. This is where he gave his caddy like a nothing tip. I think he's an interesting DFS play, depending on prices. I haven't seen him yet, but I'm not ready to bet Matt Kuchar outright. Same thing with Jason Day. Not a Keith Mitchell course. I'd rather have something longer. Alex Noren, Russell Henley, note. Kate Lee is interesting. 60 to 1 on DraftKings. Let's see. 42 on FanDuel. 40 on PointsBet. Hello value. 60 to 1 on DraftKings. Let's take a look at Kate Lee. Doesn't have a tremendous record here, but that's okay. Third place at the CJ Cup last time we saw him. Obviously, we know KH Lee loves him a birdie fest, which this is getting there. I mean, you're going to have wind, so which he gains strokes in windy conditions for sure. So it's not like your 26 under Byron Nelson birdie fest, but I would still call it a birdie fest. He's shown that he can compete in decent fields. But I mean, I loved what he did at the CJ Cup. Gained 8.5 strokes ball striking at the CJ Cup, 7.2 on approach. He's gaining strokes across every category. Like KH Lee is definitely in play at 60 to 1. I like that value. Somebody on there with me there? All right. Hey, by the way, if you're watching the video, hit the like button. Like button. Hit it. I don't know if it does anything, but just hit it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not, because we go live at random times. Sometimes we don't announce that we're going live. And you're going to want a notification when we do, okay? So you can quit doing work and just mess around. All right. JT Poston. I mean, interesting. Postman, 60 to 1 on DraftKings. What's he kind of a middling finishes here at this golf course. What's Poston's best number? Poston 90 to 1 on FanDuel. That's too long. That's a good value there. 90 to 1 on FanDuel. Let's see where he is on PointsBet. He might be longer because he's 80 to 1 on points bet. This is interesting. Where is he on MGM? I mean, Poston, you talk about an accurate play, 80 to 1 on MGM. So FanDuel is the number if you fancy a little JT Poston. He does catch my eye. I mean, he does. Multiple winner on the PGA Tour. We know that when he's on his game, he can close it out. Very good putter. He's good in the wind. Uh, doesn't have a problem hitting too many fairways, although he struggled a little bit lately. That may be where I'm concerned, actually. The more I'm looking at it. Okay, actually, the more I'm looking at it, I gotta bounce off. I gotta bounce off. Sometimes that happens, guys. That happens. Okay, we talk ourselves in, and then we talk ourselves out, and we go around. It's the Simpsons gif where the guy walks into the bar and the door creaks, and then he turns right back around and walks out. That's what we just did with JT Poston. So sometimes it happens. The off the tee play is essential here, and JT's struggling a little bit right now with it. There's no doubt about it. So that's a factor. Okay, so from now on, I'm gonna go to because I'm confused on Fantasy Nationals course history stuff. I'll get some clarity and put that in the Nut Hut. I'm gonna go to Data Golf. So one of the things I like to look at on Data Golf here, I'll share my screen. This will make it more interesting, right? Because they say YouTube videos, it's just a talking head and nothing changes. Don't do well. Well, that makes sense. That does actually make sense. So let me share my screen, show you something that I like to look at. This is on Data Golf. And what this is course history tool. I've got it filtered to El Camaleon Golf Club. And I also put the set rounds at 12 because we do have a decent history of strokes gain data all the way back to 2015 from El Camaleon. So I like a minimum of 12 rounds. It shows a decent enough sample size to see what's popping. Now, once Data Golf updates for the week, you can filter this by only players who are in this field. So for right now, it's not filtered that way because they haven't updated it. But what I like looking at, and I put this I put this data in the heavy petting email every Tuesday, which if you've not subscribed to that, I don't know what you're doing. But there's a link in the description of the video and podcast. And you can go to tourjunkies.com/chalkbomb, I believe, and subscribe to both emails. But I put this in the email every week. I think it's something nice to look at. I think it gives you an idea of what type of player does well here. And then B, it gives you players that do well here. A lot of them I think are good for value. So what I like to do is sort it by versus expectation, strokes gained performance versus expectation. So there's true strokes gained here. Okay. And this is, with 12 rounds minimum. And even though it's only showing the recent 5 years, it actually takes into account all records, I believe. So it's true strokes gained here. You can see Adam Long, Victor Hovland, Justin Thomas, Matt Kuchar at the top. But then I like looking at, and that's good to look at. But then I like looking and sorting by versus expectation. It just shows versus that player's skill level or baseline on other golf courses that they do much better here. A guy we're going to talk about here in a second, I'm already seeing people in the chat mention him, is Adam Long at the top. You can see far and away a very strong performance in versus expectation here. So since I'm a little confused by some of Fantasy National stuff, I just want to start looking at players here. Adam Hadwin has a T10 here in 2019, which is a little weird to me, right? Like I feel like Hadwin should do fairly well here. I mean, it seems like a course that would suit him. 10th at the Shriners. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not betting Adam Hadwin, but I do usually fall for him. Adam Long is here at 70 to 1. What's our best number on Adam Long? Has that already been put in the chat? What's our best number on Adam Long? What do we got? 70 to 1 on DraftKings. Adam Long. I can tell you right now we're betting Adam Long. 90 to 1 on FanDuel. Yes. This number is going to shrink because he will get talked up in the community, I'll tell you. People will bet on Adam Long. He's 70 to 1 on PointsBet, and he's 66 to 1 on MGM. So you can already see FanDuel has grossly underpriced Adam Long. He's way too long. 90 to 1 Adam Long is a click. In fact, I wouldn't even wait for me to summarize the end of the video. I would hit it now. So yeah, let's do that. Let's look at what he's done lately. He got off to a good start at the Bermuda, but then he kind of fizzled over the weekend, I think, is what kind of happened. But he's one of these guys that he's just going to come out of nowhere and do his thing, when he does his thing. Like leading up to last year's Mayakoba, he finishes 22nd. He was coming out of a miscut. He was coming out of 2 missed cuts to start his season and a 29th. Let's look at the year before. Uh, where is Mayakoba? Yeah, well, I guess that wasn't that bad. He was in a little better form when he finished third. 2019. What was it? It's because this was the OHL. That's why it's weird in Fantasy National. I got to search OHL. So 2019 is a good example. His 2 finishes before finishing runner-up at Mayakoba was a 51st and a 46th. And those were in 2 no-cut events. So, like, it wasn't great. And then he gets here and boom, he almost wins. So I think Adam Long is definitely a click. It's just one of those deals for him. Thank you, Spazbite. You got me. Yes. Tournament history page. Yes, you're right. So last year, if you look on Fantasy National, it says Mayakoba, and every other year it's OHL. Tournament history page has both. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. So Adam Long, yes. Robbie Shelton. No. Patrick Rogers. Oh, Lord. What's he done here? What's Patrick Rogers done at this place? 17th, 14th, last kind of a mixed bag. Can we bet Patrick Rogers? If you give me Patrick Rogers at triple digits, I'll bet it. Can we find him anywhere triple digit? I'm just pot committed at this point with Patrick Rogers. I've been betting him too long. I'm too far down the road. I just have to do it. So I'm stuck at this point. I can't find him anywhere. Sometimes my eyes just glaze right over these guys' names. Can y'all find a good what's the longest number we have on Patrick Rogers? And you guys are not looking because you're like, DB's an idiot. Why would we bet Patrick Rogers? Let's just not and say we did. Wasn't that was popular when I was a kid. Kids used to say that. Oh yeah, or I could not say we did. I don't see him on FanDuel and I don't see him on PointsBet. I'm probably just blowing right by his name because that's what my brain is trying to tell me that I should do, is just blow right by his name. But I can't. DraftKings 80-1. That's the longest we see. Am I blowing by it because it's just so short? Oh, yeah, he's 50-1 on PointsBet. There he is. Jeez. I mean, it does. Oh, God. Don't let me. Oh, yeah, 50-1 on MGM. Yeah, you're right, man. So I was looking to 50-1 on FanDuel. So pretty mispriced there on DraftKings if you fancy yourself a little Patrick Rogers 81. All right, Nick Hardy's at 80-1. There's another guy that I interviewed. If you listen to Nick Hardy, he doesn't like golf courses that take the advantage of his driving ability out of his hand, if that made any effing sense. He likes harder golf courses. He likes golf courses where distance and accuracy are an advantage. I mean, distance and accuracy are always an advantage, but like maximum distance and accuracy are an advantage. So I don't think this is a good spot for him. I probably would avoid him. Justin Lauer's been playing pretty good. That's an interesting name. Hayden Buckley's an interesting name. All right, I need to speed this up a little bit, I guess. I always do this. This happens every freaking week. Dean Burmester. Dude, Dean's been playing good. What's although fourth at the Sanderson. We don't have any record of Dean playing anything on the PGA Tour or Korn Ferry Tour with past Palom, but he's just a really solid player. I think but he does a lot of damage with distance. He's probably not worth the click. All right. Aaron Rye, no. Russell Knox has got an incredible record here if you believe he can win, which as the years go by, I'm less and less convinced that he will again, but he's 100-1 on DraftKings. Where is he on FanDuel? He might be much shorter on FanDuel. Yeah, he's 80-1 on FanDuel. I mean, Knox, I'm usually a guy for Knox, a sucker for Knox. All right, if you have any names you want me to look at, you want me to kind of look through. I saw someone mention Smotherman. Guys, I've been doing a lot of talking with Smotherman's caddy. Talked to him a lot this week. Smotherman can't figure it out on the weekend, guys. It's a problem. He has got great potential, and I do think he's going to win, but a lot like Ben Griffin, I'd like to see him get in contention before continuing to hammer him outright, so I probably won't have him on the card this week for an outright. But I think top 20, if he can just convert one of those Saturday or Sunday rounds into a decent finish, I think a top 20 for sure is in play for Smotherman. And think he continues to be a DraftKings play. I don't know what his price is, but he continues to be a solid DraftKings play. Are there guys that we've not talked about? Let's see. Russell Knox, I just mentioned him. Is Harris English? Like, he's got a good record here. It seems like a good spot for Harris English, but we don't know. T9 at the Fortinet. I thought he was back. I thought English was back, baby. But he hasn't been bad. The irons are kind of coming around. He's struggling off the tee though, and that's what worries me for English. So we can't have that. We can't have the tee game being poor. No, is John Huh? Like, John Huh could be a bomb. What's John Huh's price? Austin Eckroat, no. Danny Lee's played really well here. It's kind of shocking. What's his outright? Let's look at some bombs. Let me go deep down here. Doug Gims 300-1. Wow, that's a big number. Danny Lee's 250-1. I mean, throw $4 on that. Throw $4 on there. Harrison Endicott 250-1. Could have done something last. The Bermuda's a similar track, similar situation there. We could have one of these long shots, and I'll get deep into it. It'll be on the outright betting card, I promise you. We could have one of these long shots pull through. Like, I love names like Ben On and Callum Tarrant and Austin Eckroat, but I think those guys are better suited on courses where they can unleash driver a little more, and definitely Austin prefers tougher tracks. I will tell you that. I think Ben On would probably say the same thing, but they're worth a look, especially in top 20 market for sure. David Lipsky, EVR, Eric Van Ruin's kind of coming around. Good to see him healthy. 180-1 is a long number for EVR. Like, I kind of like that. I'm probably clicking that. Ben Griffin, 150-1. Like, why not? Let's bounce back on that. Do we see him on any numbers, any guys longer than, or any, God dang it. Are they longer anywhere else? Let me know. Tell me that. Bo Hostler, no. The driver worries me a little bit with Bo. Grayson Sigg's been playing really well, 130-1. He's been playing good. I'm a little worried about Mark Hubbard's foot. He keeps dropping crap on his foot. I just interviewed him. He dropped his little girl dropped his laptop on his foot right after he dropped a knife on his foot and stabbed himself. So I don't know. But this could be a good spot for Hubbard too, 130-1. SH Kim, 130-1. That's another one that I'm interested in. So those are some of the bombs. What do you guys think? EVR 180. Yep. Let's see. Straka. I think I'm out. Brent, I think I'm out on Straka right now. Yeah, I don't think I'm there. Joel Damon. John, I don't think Joel's he's just not hitting it as good right now. So for an outright, I don't like it. DraftKings, maybe top 20, top 40. Sure. But outright, no. And that's what we got to talk to ourselves about when we do these outright things. It's like, are these guys going to close the door and freaking win it? Nick, I did address Kuchar. I talked about him specifically as an interesting top 20 DraftKings play, but again, outright closing it out in this field, I don't think so. I don't see it happening. He did it, 5 years ago when he was better and younger, but I don't see it happening. So any other thoughts or questions out of this group? I do see top 20 numbers are up for DraftKings. Let's just do this. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom and let's go bombing. Let's just bomb top 20s. Okay. Cause you don't need me to tell you that, I don't know, freaking Tom Hoagie is an interesting top 20 play at plus 130-1. Let's look at bombs. The first one I see is Max McGreevy at 14-1. Let me tell you what Max likes to do, because Brett Swedberg is a great friend of ours. It's Max's caddy. Max likes places that reward accuracy, and he does well in some of these little coastal events. He can putt it. He just finished T8 at the Bermuda, shot 15 under. Had a bogey-free round 3. Went super low round 1. I think he shot a 65 on round 1, 66 round 3. Like 14-1. I mean, I get that this field is much stronger. This field is deeper and much stronger than the Bermuda, so don't get it twisted. But 14-1 on a very similar golf course, a guy that you know is hitting it good right now, that's a bomb top 20. That's one you could tell your friends about. You're having to put together 4-team parlays in the NFL or NBA to get that number. I mean, that's a good number. All right. So I like that. Let's see. Keep scrolling. Danny Lee 6-1. I mean, I was just talking about his history here. Danny Lee in the last 5 years has gone T7, T26, T2, T25 at this event. Like Danny Lee loves Mayakoba. Apparently, he's got property here. That's 6-1's, something worth looking at. Harrison Endicott, who I just mentioned, 6-1, played well this past week. Don't mind that. EVR 5-1. I really like that. Byung-Hun An 5-1. I like that. I like that. Ben Griffin 4-1. Top 20. Grayson Sig plus 330. Smotherman, we just talked about him. Smotherman, S.H. Kim, and Grayson Sig all at plus 330. I really, really like those numbers. Russell Knox 3-1. I'll do that. I like that. Adam Long's plus 260. That feels. KH Lee is plus 230. We talked about him. If you like Kuchar, he's plus 190, but I don't like that compared to other names in here. So those are some thoughts on the top 20, but I like those. All right, let's recap. Let's recap for the people. Here are the names that we jump on right now. Emiliano Grillo on BetMGM at 40-1. There are no bets on PointsBet. Actually, sorry, let's start at the top. So Billy Ho and Aaron Wise, those are the two I talked about up top. The best numbers you can get are on FanDuel at 20-1. I like them both. Golly, man, I like them both. Aaron Wise is playing, I think, probably, he's got a better record here for sure, but still, I mean, Billy Ho's record here is, actually, Billy Ho's probably got a better record. If I had to pick one, I guess I'm taking Billy Ho because late on a Sunday, final group, who's got that dog in him, right? I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing back the dog, the golden cockapoo or whatever we talked about. We don't want a designer dog. We want pit bulls, right? We want Belgian Malmouts or Malamutes or Malumites or whatever they are. We want one of those. And if you got to choose, gun to my head, Billy Ho or Aaron Wise, who's closing it out at the end? I got to go Billy Ho. He's a Florida Gator, which I hate, but we've seen Billy Ho close them out. So I think if I got to pick one, I'm going Billy Ho at 20-1, but I like both. Down the board, Hoagie at 30-1. I like Hoagie, but I don't like that number. It doesn't. Somebody said in the chat, it doesn't feel like we're getting a great buy there. Now, producer Sam would say, who cares? If you like the player and you think he's gonna win, bet him. And I get that to some extent. But maybe Hoagie's just kind of a waited out, and we just kind of see. So I don't know. I don't know that I'm gonna do Hoagie. He's not an automatic click. Emiliano Grillo at 40-1 is an automatic click. I am clicking Emiliano Grillo. 40-1, BetMGM, hit it. Okay. Continuing to work down the board. Thomas Detry and Seamus Power right here on DraftKings in the 45-50-1 range. Detry's 45-1, Power is 50-1. I mean, a guy coming off of a win, I don't know, but like Seamus is a veteran, he's a veteran guy. I could see him continuing to kind of keep it going. And those are just two numbers. When you think about those numbers relative to Hoagie at 30-1, it doesn't add up. Those feel like good values. So I think I might click both of them. They're not super short. They're good enough I could have both. They're both on DraftKings. I think I'll do that. KH Lee at 60-1. Doing everything well right now. Played really well at the CJ Cup. Does well in birdie fest. KH Lee at 60-1 on DraftKings is the best number. I think I'll take that one. Working down, Patrick Rogers at 80. God dang it. Nope. Nope, I'm not doing it. No Patrick Rogers at 80. The next automatic bet that everyone should have already betted. If you're watching live, you should have already hit this now. 90 to 1, Adam Long on FanDuel is mispriced. I know he's Adam Long, and I know it's like, well, David, didn't you just talk about, like, can this guy actually win? Can he actually close the door? Yes, I realize I did that. Adam Long's won one time on the PGA Tour, but I do think he could do it. I do think he could do it at a place like this. He tends to do well here, and that price is just too juicy. 90 to 1 on FanDuel for Adam Long is your best number. Okay, then I'm getting into some bombs that just caught my eye right off the bat. Grayson Sig, SH Kim, at like 130 to 1, I believe, is where they are. Let's see. Yes, Grayson Sig, SH Kim, 130 to 1. I like those. Hubbard potentially will also be a click at 130 to 1. I like those. Russell Knox, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Russell Knox, 100 to 1 on DraftKings. Seems to be a good number for him. A guy who's won multiple times on the PGA Tour and has a tremendous record here. He worries me a little bit, just that he might Russell Knox himself out of it, but it's 100 to 1. Like, gee, give me a break. And then Eric Van Rooyen at 180 to 1. Like, the guy's good enough I'll take that. 180 to 1, I'll take it. Ben Griffin, 150 to 1. DraftKings. Sure. I mean, with these long numbers, I think we hit those, guys. I think we hit them. Oh, Brent brings up a great point. Guys, let's build our golf and NFL parlay. Let's do it. That'll be fun. All right, so let me clear some of these. I already mentioned my top 20s. So let's do, if I were going to build a parlay, an NFL parlay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share my screen. Let's share the screen. Let me just go over here to DraftKings. It might be better at FanDuel, so somebody shop around with me on FanDuel. If I were going to do this, I'm going Hovland at 10 to 1, okay? And then let's go over to the NFL. What do we like about the game tonight? You got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Let me look in here. I always like a little anytime touchdown. I love a little I'm a sucker for an anytime touchdown bet. I mean, sure, we could go money line, but yeah. Let's get it bigger than that, guys. Remember, we're not betting bishes, okay? We're not doing that. Put it in the chat. What do we like, guys? What do we like? Come on, chat it up. If you're watching after the live is over, drop it in the comments. Tell me who are you putting with Victor Hovland, or give me somebody else on the Monday night game. All right, or if it's after Monday night, the Thursday night game. All right, let's see. You said no Chase, so Higgins and Boyd show. That's true. No Jamar Chase. He's out with a hip injury. So Boyd is plus. You get plus money on Boyd as an anytime TD scorer. I like that. That would put us at that parlay would be plus 24.30. Damn, boo boo. I like that. Oof. I kind of like that. It just feels like I'm getting Victor Hovland at 24 to 1. Now, let's see if I go Nick Chubb anytime touchdown, who's minus 120. I actually kind of like that more. I like that more. It gives you a parlay of plus 19.16. So basically almost 20 to 1. So you're getting 19 to 1. Nick Chubb, anytime touchdown, Victor Hovland to win. Man, I love that actually. Ryan Jones says Boyd over 5.5 receptions is plus 100. But I mean, all right. So let me look at that. So let me take Chubb out of here. Receptions, Boyd. Okay, so that puts my parlay at 21 to 1. But I mean, I just feel way better about Chubb getting the touchdown, and I'm only losing basically 2 points. I'm going from 21 to 1 to 19 to 1. So I'd still rather have the Chubb play. Who else? What else we got? Give me some other locks. I mean, or do we just bet the Bengals money line? I mean, is that what? But I don't know. I don't feel great about Bengals money line. I still feel better about Chubb getting a touchdown. That could be the Georgia homer in me, but I mean, Nick Chubb he's Nick Chubb. Like that parlay at basically 19 to 1. You guys are gonna have a hard time talking me out. Do we do a 3-leg? Yeah, I don't know. Do we go 3-leg? Like I was just thinking about that. Do we? If we go 3-leg, where are we going? Are we going Joe Mixon anytime touchdown? That 3-leg would put us at, oh, what? I can't do that? Oh, it's not letting me. Ugh, 'cause it's in the same game? That's dumb. I freaking hate that. DraftKings won't let me do that. Oh, you bet Chubb first TD heavy. I think this is the bet, guys. I mean, I'm sharing the screen right here. I think it's Victor Hovland to win, Nick Chubb anytime touchdown on Monday night for 19, basically 19 to 1. That's the play. That's the official play for me. And I think I'm out on that. Let me think about this if there's anything else I got to update y'all on. So we got some more interviews dropping this week. Another interview dropping this week. If you've not caught up on those, you need to. But good ones coming. Good ones in the works as well. Like I said, the DFS DraftKings show will be me and Jeff Feinberg on Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on YouTube. It'll also be dropping in the podcast feed. And should be a great week. I'm excited about the golf tournament, Mayakoba. I will also have some content this week. It may be on the show with Jeff because I know Jeff has some opinions. But at some point this week, I'm probably going to tell my observations, things I learned from my experience as a media member at a live event. I think that's interesting. I think people want to talk about it. And I think we're not getting enough people who are PGA Tour fans who are going to live events and trying to be objective and look at what's happening and then reporting on it. I don't think we're getting a lot of that. So I would be open to doing that. And I think I might. So stay tuned for that. That's another reason to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Because if I just decide to go live and do that, you'll be notified. So subscribe to the channel. Drop in a comment, please. It helps out the algorithm. So they say. God, I don't know. You know what really helps out the algorithm? If you just tell somebody about TJ. Just tell them. Just say, man, if you like golf, man, check these guys out. Send them the podcast. Send them the YouTube link. Let them know. That helps us out a lot. That's the best thing you can do for us, spreading the TJ gospel. For all of you who rock with me live, I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Go check out my friends at Smart Scalpers and earn you a little side hustle that might turn into, full-time gig. All right. That's all I got. Thanks for putting up with me and my coughing and my whatever I got going on here. Whatever I caught in Miami, it wasn't good. I guess, maybe Nelly gave me something. I don't know. All right. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow with Jeff Feinberg if I don't see you before then. Let's bend over our bookies, people. Third week in a row, let's hit a winner. All right.